this. No, I'm kidding. We went over how to divide long division, like in elementary school. We went over the steps, and we are going over this. We divide the first terms. We got x squared. You put it up top. Then you do x squared times the divisor, and you distribute, and we got 3x cubed minus 2x squared. Now, this is when you put it underneath these terms. So look right here. This that you just got, when you multiplied, goes right here. Okay? Now, so far, I know it's been complicated. Here's where it gets an extra step complicated. You have to subtract this. You might remember from 2 days ago, when you subtract, you change your signs. So this positive 3x cubed is going to become a negative 3x cubed. And this minus 2x squared is going to become a plus 2x squared. Does everyone see it with these red signs? Positive became negative, negative became positive. With the signs of the new one, because you're subtracting, you're taking it away from the original polynomial. So 3x cubed minus 3x cubed cancels out. What's 7x squared plus 2x squared? 9x squared. And then you bring down the 0x next to it. Now, if you could at least do those steps, all you do is just keep doing those steps until you're done, okay? So there's nothing new stepwise, but now we got to repeat. So let's repeat. What's my first term here? 9x squared divided by this first term, 3x. So now we're repeating. So what's 9x squared divided by 3x? So 9 divided by 3 is 3. And x squared over x, 2 minus 1 is 1x, so x. Okay, so we're dividing those first terms. You should definitely turn that off. Looking over here. Now, once we have that, we're going to write it up top right here over that missing 0x term we had to write. Okay, now next step is when we multiply this 3x times our divisor, 3x minus 2. So what's 3x times 3x? 9x squared. And then what's 3x times negative 2?
Negative 6x.
Negative 6x. Okay. So we get 9x squared minus 6x. Okay. Now again, once you do that, once you get that, where does that go?
The bottom under that.
Underneath 9x squared plus 0x. So let's write that right here. And we need to change both signs. Remember? Remember the red ones here? So positive turns into negative. And then negative turns into positive. Like this, right? Now, let's do the math. What's 9x squared minus 9x squared?
0.
We do it because we want it to cancel out. It does cancel out. And then 0 plus 6. Wait, 0x plus 6x is what? 6x. Okay. Bring down the minus 5. We've done a second cycle. Can you do the cycle all over again? First term divided by the first term. What's 6x divided by 3x? You had it and then you lost it. 6x divided by 3x is straight up 2.
Oh, dang.
6 divided by 3 is 2. X over x cancels out. And then you write that up top, 2. And so now again we multiply. 2 times 3x minus 2. What's 2 times 3x? 6x. And then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Where do I put that new expression? At the very bottom, 6x minus 4. And again, change both signs. This positive 6x becomes negative. This negative 4 becomes positive. Okay, and then 6x minus 6x is 0, cancels out. Negative 5 plus 4 is a negative 1. Okay. And we're done, but what do we call this little extra number here? Remainder. So how do you write a remainder? Okay, so here's how you do it. This negative 1 is going to go over the divisor. Okay, so check it out. So the bottom remainder is negative 1, and you put it as a fraction over this divisor, 3x minus 2. Okay. Now, all of that is already on your page. Okay. I want us to look at example 2 and see if we can try this together. Okay. It should be to the right, example 2. Okay, so here we go. Let's try example 2. Now, where does this top expression go? Inside or on the left? Inside. Let's go ahead and write that. By the way, is it missing any terms? 3, 2, 1, 0? Nope, that's good. And then on the outside to the left, I'm going to put the bottom, the denominator. Okay. Let's see what we remember. What's my first step? First step. First term divided by the first term. Okay. X cubed divided by x. Let's go and write it off to the right. Make a little section that says divide. Okay. What is x cubed divided by x? So 3x is on top, 1x on the bottom. You subtract, what do you get? 3 minus 1.
Is that 0?
Squared. X squared. 3 minus 1 is 2, right? Okay. So x squared. So we divide the first terms. Where do I put that x squared? Is it on top of the over here or 1 over?
1 over.
Okay, 1 over. So x squared goes on top of that negative 12x squared because they match. They're both squares. Okay. Okay. Now, everybody, we did first step. We divided. Step 2, we're going to multiply x squared times the divisor, x minus 2. So off to the right, you can go and put a little multiply section. So I'm going to do x squared times x minus 2. So let's distribute. What's x squared times x? X squared times an x. X cubed. And then what's x squared times negative 2? Negative 2, x squared, put them together. Negative 2x squared. Okay? So do y'all see off to the right there? When we multiply, we get that new expression, x cubed minus 2x squared. Where am I going to write that? Underneath the dividend. So let's subtract this. Okay. So I rewrite it underneath right here. So I got the x cubes lined up. I got this lined up. Remember, you have to change the signs because you're subtracting. So this positive x cubed becomes negative. That minus 2x squared becomes plus 2x squared. If you forget to do that, things will not cancel out like they're supposed to. So again, change those signs. So x cubed minus x cubed cancels out. What's negative 12x squared plus 2x squared? Negative 12 plus 2 is negative 10. X squared, write that underneath. And then bring down the next term, plus 44x. We just did one cycle, And then you just repeat those steps. Back to the first step.
And we have to divide.
First term divided by the first term. So we're doing negative 10x squared divided by x. Now careful here. Negative 10, no number on the bottom, so you got to keep the negative 10. And x squared divided by x squared divided by x, 2 minus 1, gives me what? 1x. So yeah, negative 10x is going to be what I get when I divide.
Let's do it on the phone.
The screen should be off, but it's not. For some reason. Now, let's go ahead and multiply. So actually, first off, we got to write that negative 10x up top, right? Right here. Off is off. Off. Now, second step, multiply. Negative 10x times x minus 2. Looks like this. Multiply those two. What's negative 10x times x? X times x is x squared. Okay, now, and the negative 10 stays there, so negative 10x times x is negative 10x squared. And then negative 10x times negative 2, negative times a negative, positive. 10 times 2 is 20. Don't forget the x. You see all this multiplying and adding and stuff? That was all that we did on 7.3. So like, hopefully this helps you strengthen what you need to do for 7.3, right? Now, take what we just got and write it underneath over here, right? Right there. So redistribute it over here. And then don't forget, change these signs. This minus becomes a plus, this plus becomes a minus. It looks like this in red. And now we can combine. So the negative 10x squared plus 10x squared cancels out. What's 44x minus 20x? 24x, and you bring down the minus 48. We have done 2 cycles of the same steps, and we got to do it one more time. What's the first step of the cycle? Yeah, first term divided by first term. So 24x divided by x. The x's cancel out. What am I left with? 24. Now I'm going to multiply that 24. Actually, I'm going to write it up top first. It's plus 24. And then I'm going to multiply 24 times the divisor, x minus 2. So 24 times x minus 2. And let's distribute. What's 24 times x? 24 times x is what? 24x. 24 times negative 2. The number. 24 times negative 2. Great question.
From the top at the right there.
The divisor. Okay.
That
24 times negative 2 is negative 48. Yeah. So we get 24x minus 48. And I'm going to write that underneath at the bottom. Okay. And then don't forget to change these signs. This positive becomes a negative. This negative becomes a positive. Divide, multiply, to subtract, and then bring it down. Let's cross those out, and guess what? Those cross out make 0. So what's my remainder? No remainder. Okay. So my final answer. Well, no. The answer's not the remainder. The answer's up here. X squared minus 10x plus 24. So the answer you get is at the top. Okay. You can write it. Box it. The only time you would add it onto that is if you had a remainder, you would add that over x minus 2. Okay. Now, I know this took like 5 ever to do, and it's kind of complicated and tedious, monotonous, brutal, etc. Now, example 3 is already on there for you. That's cool. I would like for you to try 4 on your own, and then I'll show you the answers here in a minute. I would like for you to try. Trying never hurt too many people. Look, real quick. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. I want you to try number 4. Okay, here we go. You already have example 3 on your page, but here's example 4. And I want to help you set it up real quick. Everybody, look at example 4. I'm going to help you write it. Okay, look at this. Do you see how there's an x squared term missing? Right? Make sure you put the 0x squared term, okay? And then the denominator is missing an x term, so make sure you write it like this. Do you see how there's no x on the bottom? So you have to put it right here. That's because the squared one's missing. You have the x cubed, you're just missing the squared. On the bottom one, you're missing just the x, okay? So I want y'all to try this using these terms. It's the same steps. I'll give you 10 minutes, and then I'll show you the answers, and that'll be it for today. So.
In no way. That was so easy.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, not you, Ben. Do you know how to do this?
Heck yeah.
Do you use this every day?
Every day.
I can't wait to go to HEB when I get older and like
Yeah.
find you on Facebook and be like, sir, I'm using Ensolve right now.
Wow.
Buying toilet paper.
Wow.
For real.
All right, so there it is in all of its glory. So you can check that out. Now, here's the hope. Tomorrow, if you look at the backside, it's a little bit less confusing looking. I'm going to show you what's called synthetic division. It'll be better tomorrow, I promise. I had to show you this, but tomorrow we got the easier way. Cool? All right.